4 toxic habits that can make people lose respect for you aren't just harmless quirks. They're behaviors that can seriously undermine your reputation and damage your relationships. You might be thinking, come on, everyone has bad habits, and you're right. But the habits we're discussing today are particularly harmful because they strike at the core of how we interact with others. They can turn a promising friendship or professional relationship sour in no time. To give this topic a personal touch, we are going to share some of our own experiences. Trust us, we have made plenty of mistakes along the way and have learned a lot from them. These stories are a bit raw and honest, but we believe sharing them will help us all grow. By recognizing and overcoming these habits, we can start living a life full of dignity and respect. We'll be drawing on the teachings of Stoicism, an ancient philosophy that offers timeless advice for living a virtuous and fulfilling life. Stoicism is about more than just enduring hardships with a stiff upper lip. It's about cultivating inner peace, integrity, and resilience. So grab a cup of coffee, sit back, and let's dive in. Are you ready? Let's get into it. Habit number 1: gossiping. Gossiping is a peculiar social phenomenon that often sneaks its way into our conversations without much thought. It's a habit that seems innocuous at first glance, perhaps even entertaining, as we exchange morsels of information about others' lives. In our younger years, particularly during college, gossiping almost felt like a rite of passage, a means of bonding with peers over shared tidbits of others' affairs. The allure of being privy to insider knowledge was intoxicating, fostering a sense of camaraderie among gossipers. However, what initially appears as harmless banter can quickly spiral into something far more insidious. As we immersed ourselves deeper into the culture of gossip, we began to witness its destructive force firsthand. What once seemed like harmless chatter soon revealed its true nature, a corrosive force that eroded trust and fractured relationships. We found ourselves entangled in webs of half-truths and fabrications, unsure of what to believe or whom to trust. The very bonds we sought to strengthen through gossip were now strained under the weight of suspicion and deceit. It became painfully clear that indulging in gossip was akin to playing with fire, leaving scorched relationships and shattered reputations in its wake. The realization of gossip's destructive potential did not come without its fair share of lessons learned the hard way. We bore witness to the fallout of unchecked rumors and malicious hearsay, witnessing firsthand the devastation it wrought upon individuals' lives. Friendships were fractured, reputations tarnished, and trust irreparably broken, all in the name of idle gossip. It was a sobering wake-up call that forced us to confront the reality of our actions and the harm they inflicted upon others. We came to understand that gossiping wasn't just a harmless pastime. It was a toxic habit with far-reaching consequences. In hindsight, our journey with gossip served as a cautionary tale, a stark reminder of the dangers lurking beneath its seemingly innocuous facade. It taught us the importance of exercising discretion in our conversations and showing empathy towards others. Instead of succumbing to the allure of gossip, we strive to foster an environment of trust and respect in our interactions. We recognize that true connection cannot be forged through the dissemination of rumors and innuendos, but rather through genuine communication and understanding. Let's get real about gossiping. It's time to break free from its toxic grip and cultivate relationships built on honesty, integrity, and compassion. Here's a story we are not proud of. There was this girl in our group. Let's call her Emily. She was a bit different, quirky, introverted, didn't always fit in. One day, we found out she had a crush on a guy who was, let's say, way out of her league. Instead of keeping that information to ourselves, we shared it with our friends. We laughed about it, and the story spread like wildfire. It wasn't long before Emily found out what we'd been saying. The look on her face when she realized that her personal feelings had become a joke was heartbreaking. She stopped coming around and eventually left the group entirely. At the time, we brushed it off, but deep down, we knew we'd crossed a line. The Stoics, like Epictetus, teach us to focus on our own character and not meddle in the affairs of others. This wisdom is increasingly relevant in today's society, where gossip has become a pervasive part of everyday interactions, amplified by social media and instant communication. A 2019 study published in Social Psychological and Personality Science found that gossip makes up about 14% of our daily conversations, averaging around 52 minutes per day. This statistic underscores the extent to which gossip permeates our lives and highlights the challenge of adhering to Stoic principles in a world that often encourages the sharing of others' private matters. When you gossip, you're not only wasting time but also poisoning the well of trust. The act of gossiping can have severe repercussions on personal and professional relationships. According to a survey conducted by the University of Virginia, 90% of employees reported that workplace gossip has a negative impact on morale, and 76% indicated that it damages trust among colleagues. Gossip creates an environment of suspicion and betrayal, making it difficult for people to build and maintain genuine connections. This erosion of trust can lead to a toxic work culture, decreased productivity, and higher turnover rates, as employees may feel uncomfortable or unsafe sharing personal information or collaborating closely with others. Keep silence for the most part, and speak only when you must, and then briefly, said Epictetus, emphasizing the importance of measured and mindful communication. Research supports the idea that limiting gossip can foster a more positive social environment. A study from the University of California, Riverside, found that individuals who refrained from gossiping experienced lower levels of stress and anxiety. By choosing to focus on their own character and actions, rather than meddling in the lives of others, these individuals were able to cultivate a sense of inner peace and integrity. This approach not only benefits the individual, but also contributes to a more respectful and trustworthy community. Gossiping erodes trust. When you engage in gossip, people start to wonder what you say about them behind their backs. This behavior can have long-lasting effects on one's reputation and relationships. The American Psychological Association notes that the damage caused by gossip can be difficult to repair, as it often leads to a breakdown in communication and mutual respect. In personal relationships, gossip can create rifts that are hard to mend, leading to feelings of betrayal and resentment. In professional settings, it can hinder teamwork and collaboration, as colleagues may become wary of one another's intentions. Ultimately, the Stoic teachings of focusing on one's own character and maintaining discretion in speech are not only timeless but also crucial for fostering trust and respect in all areas of life. Another incident happened at our first job. We had a coworker, let's call him John, who was incredibly diligent but a bit of a loner. One day, we found out through the grapevine that John had a pretty serious health issue. Instead of respecting his privacy, we told a few colleagues, thinking it would make for an interesting conversation. John found out, of course. He confronted us, not angrily, but with a look of deep hurt and disappointment. He told us that he trusted us with that information, thinking we would be discreet. From that day on, our working relationship was never the same. We had lost his respect and trust, and it was entirely our fault. This experience taught us a critical lesson: respect other people's privacy. Everyone has their battles and vulnerabilities. By turning someone's personal life into fodder for gossip, you undermine trust and damage relationships. In conversation, you not only disrespect them, but also reveal a lack of integrity in yourself. The Stoics believed in uplifting and constructive conversations. Instead of gossiping, focus on positive dialogue that builds people up rather than tearing them down. Remember, if someone is willing to gossip to you, they're just as likely to gossip about you. Habit number 2. Being unreliable is a trait that can have far-reaching consequences, both in personal and professional spheres. It's a topic that resonates deeply with many individuals, as we've all experienced the frustration and disappointment of dealing with someone who fails to follow through on their commitments. Reliability forms the bedrock of trust in any relationship. When that trust is compromised, respect inevitably begins to erode. Whether it's consistently showing up late to appointments, failing to meet deadlines, or making promises that are never fulfilled, unreliability sends a clear message to others that their time and expectations are not valued. In personal relationships, the impact of unreliability can be particularly profound. Friends and loved ones rely on each other for emotional support, companionship, and shared experiences. When one party consistently fails to uphold their end of the bargain, it creates a sense of imbalance and resentment within the relationship. Trust is fragile, and repeated instances of broken promises or unreliable behavior can chip away at it until it's irreparably damaged. The emotional toll of feeling let down by someone we care about can strain even the strongest of bonds, leading to feelings of betrayal and disillusionment. In the professional realm, reliability is equally crucial, if not more so. In a fast-paced and competitive environment, businesses and organizations depend on employees who can be counted on to deliver results consistently and on time. When an individual fails to meet deadlines or fulfill their obligations, it not only disrupts workflow but also undermines the credibility of the entire team. Colleagues and supervisors alike lose faith in the unreliable individual's ability to perform their duties effectively, leading to strained working relationships and diminished opportunities for collaboration and advancement. Moreover, the impact of unreliability extends beyond immediate consequences. It can also tarnish one's reputation over time. In an interconnected world where word of mouth and professional networks play a significant role in shaping career opportunities, being known as unreliable can hinder future prospects and limit growth potential. Trust and respect are currencies in the professional world, and those who consistently demonstrate reliability are more likely to be entrusted with greater responsibilities and rewarded with opportunities for advancement. Conversely, individuals who develop a reputation for being unreliable may find themselves overlooked for promotions, sidelined in important projects, or even ostracized from their professional networks altogether. In conclusion, the habit of being unreliable is a serious impediment to building and maintaining trust and respect in both personal and professional relationships. It undermines the foundation upon which healthy connections are built, leading to feelings of frustration, resentment, and disappointment among those affected by it. Cultivating a reputation for reliability requires a commitment to honoring one's commitments, communicating effectively, and prioritizing the needs and expectations of others. By doing so, individuals can foster stronger, more meaningful connections and position themselves for success in all aspects of their lives. We have got a personal story about this. In our early 20s, We was known among our friends as the flaky one. We would make plans and then cancel last minute, or just not show up at all. We thought it was no big deal. Life is busy, right? But one incident really opened my eyes. A close friend of mine, Sarah, was throwing a birthday party. She had gone all out, planning for weeks, organizing every detail. We promised we would be there, but on the day of the party, we got caught up in something else and decided not to go. We didn't even bother to let her know until hours after the event had started. When we finally called her, we could hear the disappointment in her voice. She didn't say much, but we knew we had let her down. Our friendship was never quite the same after that. She stopped inviting me to things, and we drifted apart. Being unreliable tells people that your word means nothing. This sentiment echoes through various aspects of life, from personal relationships to professional environments. According to a survey by the American Psychological Association, 90% of people believe that trust is essential to a successful relationship, yet 42% have experienced a significant breach of trust due to unreliability. When someone frequently breaks promises or fails to meet commitments, it erodes the foundational trust necessary for any relationship to thrive. This erosion can lead to long-term consequences, such as strained friendships, broken family bonds, and diminished professional reputations. The ripple effect of being unreliable extends far beyond the immediate disappointment. It plants seeds of doubt and resentment that can grow over time, leading to a loss of respect and, ultimately, the dissolution of relationships. In the workplace, reliability is a cornerstone of professional success. A study by the Society for Human Resource Management, SHRM, found that 84% of employers view reliability as one of the most critical qualities in employees. When individuals consistently fail to deliver on their promises or meet deadlines, it not only affects their own career progression, but also the overall productivity and morale of the team. Projects get delayed, quality of work suffers, and team members who must compensate for unreliable colleagues may experience increased stress and burnout. Moreover, repeated instances of unreliability can tarnish an individual's professional reputation, making it difficult to secure promotions, new job opportunities, or the trust of co-workers and superiors. In a competitive job market, where employers seek dependable and consistent performers, being unreliable can be a significant career impediment. Reliability is also a reflection of one's respect for others' time and effort. When you make a commitment, whether it's a social engagement or a professional task, others plan around that commitment. Breaking it without notice or a valid reason shows a disregard for the other person's schedule and the effort they've put into accommodating you. A study conducted by the University of Southern California found that people who are frequently late or fail to follow through on commitments are perceived as less competent and less respectful. This perception can have lasting effects on how others interact with you, leading to fewer social invitations, diminished collaboration opportunities, and a general sense of alienation. Respecting other people's time is not just about punctuality. It's about valuing their contributions and recognizing that your actions have a direct impact on their lives. In conclusion, being reliable is about more than just keeping your word. It's about maintaining the integrity and respect that underpins all successful interactions. The consequences of unreliability are far-reaching, affecting personal relationships, professional standing, and societal perceptions. Trust, once broken, is incredibly difficult to rebuild, and repeated instances of unreliability can lead to isolation and lost opportunities. By prioritizing reliability, you demonstrate respect for others, and uphold the values that foster strong, trustworthy relationships. It's a commitment to consistency and integrity that pays dividends in all areas of life, reinforcing the bonds of trust and respect that are essential for personal and professional success. Another example is from my professional life. Early in our career, we had a habit of overcommitting and under-delivering. We had agreed to take on projects and then miss deadlines, often without warning. We thought our charm and excuses would smooth things over, but our boss wasn't amused. During a performance review, she laid it out bluntly. "Your work is good when you do it, but your lack of reliability is a problem. People don't know if they can count on you." It was a harsh wake-up call. Reliability isn't just about showing up. It's about consistency and integrity. When you commit to something, you're putting your reputation on the line. Every time you flake out, you chip away at the trust others have in you. So how do we fix this? First, be honest with yourself about what you can and can't do. Don't overcommit. If you make a promise, keep it. Communicate proactively. If something comes up and you can't follow through, show that you value other people's time as much as your own. By being reliable, you earn the respect and trust of those around you. It's a simple but powerful way to strengthen your relationships and build a solid reputation. Habit number 3, interrupting others. This one is controversial because so many people do it without even realizing it. But let's be real. Constantly interrupting others is a huge sign of disrespect. It says what we have to say is more important than what you're saying. It's a habit that not only frustrates people, but also makes them feel undervalued and unheard. We used to be chronic interrupters. We thought it showed enthusiasm and intelligence, but in reality, it showed a lack of respect. Here's a personal story that drove this point home for us. In one of our early jobs, we were part of a team that had weekly brainstorming sessions. We were eager to impress, so we would constantly jump in with our ideas, often cutting people off mid-sentence. We thought we were being proactive, but our coworkers saw it differently. One day, during a particularly intense meeting, our manager stopped the discussion and addressed us directly. "You need to let people finish their thoughts," she said bluntly. "You're not listening. You're just waiting for your turn to speak." We were embarrassed, but it didn't end there. After the meeting, a colleague pulled me aside and said, "Do you even realize how dismissive you come across? It's like you think your ideas are the only ones that matter." That hit us hard. We didn't see ourselves as dismissive, but clearly, that's how we were perceived. Interrupting others is more than just rude. It shows a lack of self-control and respect. The Stoics valued listening and understanding over speaking. Seneca advises us to be patient and considerate. Interrupting others undermines the basic principles of communication, which are built on mutual respect, understanding, and the free exchange of ideas. Communication is a two-way street that requires both parties to listen and respond thoughtfully. When one person constantly interrupts, it disrupts this balance, leading to frustration and a breakdown in the dialogue. A study conducted by the University of California, Santa Barbara, found that interruptions can reduce comprehension and retention of information by up to 40%. This is because interruptions break the listener's train of thought, forcing them to reset their cognitive processes repeatedly. The constant mental rebooting not only makes the conversation less efficient, but also diminishes the overall quality of the interaction. Active listening is crucial for meaningful interactions because it ensures that all parties feel heard and understood. When you allow others to finish their thoughts, you demonstrate patience and respect, which are essential for building trust and rapport. According to research by the International Listening Association, people only retain about 25 to 50% of what they hear, and this retention rate can be significantly improved through active listening techniques, such as not interrupting. By fully engaging with what the other person is saying, you can provide more relevant and thoughtful responses, leading to a deeper and more productive conversation. This approach not only enhances mutual understanding but also fosters a sense of validation and appreciation, which are key components of healthy communication. Allowing others to finish their thoughts shows that you value their input and are willing to consider different perspectives. This openness is particularly important in diverse and collaborative environments, where multiple viewpoints can lead to more innovative and effective solutions. A study published in the Harvard Business Review highlighted that teams with inclusive leaders who encourage and respect diverse opinions are 17% more likely to report high performance and 29% more likely to behave collaboratively. By listening actively and refraining from interrupting, you create a space where everyone feels comfortable sharing their ideas, leading to richer discussions and better decision-making processes. This inclusive approach not only enhances team dynamics, but also contributes to a more positive and productive organizational culture. Respecting others' voices fosters a collaborative and inclusive environment, which is beneficial in both personal relationships and professional settings. In personal relationships, active listening and refraining from interruptions can lead to stronger emotional connections and a deeper understanding of each other's needs and perspectives. According to a study by the Gottman Institute, couples who practice active listening are more likely to report higher levels of satisfaction and intimacy in their relationships. In professional settings, creating a culture of respect and inclusion can boost morale, increase employee engagement, and reduce turnover. A Gallup poll found that employees who feel their opinions are valued are 4.6 times more likely to feel empowered to perform their best work. By prioritizing active listening and minimizing interruptions, you contribute to a culture that values and respects all voices, ultimately leading to more harmonious and effective interactions across all areas of life. Habit number 4, complaining. In our conversations, we remember another incident vividly. We were out with friends at a bar, and one friend was sharing a deeply personal story about his struggles with anxiety. Halfway through, we jumped in with our own experience, thinking it would help him feel understood. Instead, he looked at us and said, "Can we finish?" The mood shifted instantly. What we thought was empathy came across as hijacking his moment. That night, we realized something crucial. Listening is more than just hearing words. It's about being present and allowing others to express themselves fully. By interrupting, we were undermining that process, making it about us rather than them. To break the habit of interrupting, practice active listening. Active listening is more than just hearing the words being spoken. It involves fully engaging with the speaker and understanding their message. When someone is speaking, really listen by focusing your attention on them and avoiding distractions. According to a study by Wright State University, effective listening involves both verbal and nonverbal responses, such as nodding, maintaining eye contact, and providing feedback that shows you are processing what they are saying. By being present and attentive, you convey to the speaker that their thoughts and feelings are important, which fosters a sense of respect and trust. This practice not only enhances your understanding of the conversation, but also strengthens your relationships by making others feel valued and heard. Don't just wait for your turn to talk. Many people fall into the trap of listening with the intent to reply rather than to understand. This behavior can lead to misunderstandings and missed opportunities for deeper connections. Research from the Harvard Business Review indicates that people who listen to understand rather than to respond are perceived as more empathetic and trustworthy. By giving speakers the space to express their thoughts completely before you respond, you allow for a more thoughtful and meaningful exchange of ideas. This patience in conversation demonstrates maturity and self-control, qualities that are highly regarded in both personal and professional settings. Moreover, it encourages others to reciprocate with the same level of attentiveness, leading to more productive and respectful interactions. It's a simple but powerful way to show respect and build stronger connections. Respecting others' speaking time signals that you value their contributions and are open to their perspectives. A survey by the International Listening Association found that 85% of what we know is acquired through listening, highlighting the importance of this skill in our daily lives. When you prioritize active listening, you create an environment where everyone feels comfortable sharing their thoughts and ideas. This can lead to more innovative solutions and a more cohesive team dynamic. In personal relationships, active listening helps to resolve conflicts and deepen emotional bonds. By making a conscious effort to listen actively, you can transform your interactions and build a foundation of mutual respect and understanding. Remember, interrupting signals that you think your words are more important than theirs. This can come across as dismissive and disrespectful, undermining the speaker's confidence and damaging your relationship with them. According to a study published in the Journal of Applied Psychology, individuals who frequently interrupt are perceived as less likable and less competent. To foster an environment of mutual respect, challenge yourself to truly listen the next time you're in a conversation. You might be surprised at how much more you learn and how much more respect you earn. People appreciate when they are given the opportunity to speak without being cut off, and this practice can significantly enhance your social and professional standing. By embracing active listening, you not only improve your communication skills but also contribute to a more positive and respectful culture in all your interactions. Complaining is a habit that's not only annoying but also deeply corrosive. It's one thing to vent occasionally, but constant complaining can turn you into a negative force that people want to avoid. This habit can drain your energy and the energy of those around you, leading to lost respect and damaged relationships. We used to be chronic complainers. We thought it was a way to bond with people, to find common ground over shared grievances. But it didn't take long to realize how destructive this habit was. A few years ago, we worked at a job that we found incredibly frustrating. The workload was heavy, the management was disorganized, and we felt undervalued. Instead of looking for solutions or ways to improve the situation, we complained constantly to anyone who would listen. Our coworkers, friends, and even family all heard about our endless grievances. At first, people were sympathetic. They'd nod and agree, offering their own complaints as a form of solidarity. But as time went on, we noticed a shift. People started avoiding us. Conversations grew shorter, and we weren't invited to after-work hangouts as often. The final straw came when a close friend told us, "We love you, but you're becoming really negative. It's exhausting to be around you." The Stoics believed in focusing on what we can control and accepting what we cannot. Complaining constantly keeps you fixated on the negative, which not only affects your mindset but also how others perceive you. It's a sign that you're more focused on problems than solutions, which is not an attractive quality. Another experience that drove this home was during a group project in college. One of our teammates, let's call him Mike, was a relentless complainer. Every meeting, he'd go on about how unfair the workload was, how incompetent the professor was, and how pointless the project seemed. His negativity was contagious, and soon the entire team's morale plummeted. We were all fed up and just wanted to get the project over with, rather than putting in our best effort. Seeing this from another perspective was eye-opening. It made us realize how our own complaining had likely affected those around us in similar ways. We decided to take a different approach. We started practicing gratitude and focusing on solutions instead of complaining about our job. We began identifying specific issues and looking for ways to address them. If we felt undervalued, we sought feedback on how we could improve and made a case for a raise. When management was disorganized, we took the initiative to streamline processes within our control. It wasn't easy and it didn't change overnight, but the results were significant. People noticed our shift in attitude. Our relationships improved, and we started earning back the respect we had lost. We became someone people wanted to work with and be around, rather than someone they avoided. Thank you for tuning in. If you found this video valuable, we had appreciated if you could take a moment to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who might benefit from this message. Let's make a commitment to improve ourselves and lead more respectful lives. By embracing the principles of Stoicism, we can navigate life's challenges with grace and integrity. Remember, it's not just about enduring hardships. It's about cultivating inner strength and resilience. So, until our paths cross again, stay steadfast, stay stoic, and keep striving for personal growth and excellence.